All right, this is still part of kind of assignment 7, but we're going to go into a little more depth in the rotate and scale commands. Let's bring AutoCAD over. This would be the handout. Especially in landscape work, a lot of times you'll have like a rectangular base for a light or something, and you'll bring it in, and now I have to rotate this to fit to this. And you could just go rotate. Oops, sorry, I wasn't in AutoCAD. Rotate and just kind of pick them where you're gonna, I like this, you know. And that's kind of, no, that's not acceptable. We don't like to be eyeballing in AutoCAD or in architecture, probably not engineering either. Would it be a disaster? No. But we have a solution, and it's not that difficult. If we start rotate and pick our object, and then that's the only object we want to rotate, so we enter, and pick this for our line to rotate about, one of your options is reference, R. It now asks you for a reference angle. You do that by picking 2 points on your object. Pick and pick. And then it asks you where you want that new angle to be. And so if I come over here and snap to this point, it'll do that. So when you do rotate reference, make sure those 2 points you pick are something you could then snap to easily over here to get to your object. So pretty handy little command. We use it fairly often. Sometimes it's not that critical. Sometimes you just get stuff and, well, let's say that I needed to adjust this, so I could go rotate, pick all these objects, rotate a reference, pick there, and I just tell it, nope, I want that 0, and now it's nice and flat. So that's handy. Occasionally we'll do things like that. You notice that the number was some funky number. Probably a good example of this is a lot of times we'll bring drawings in, like site plans, things like that, that maybe at some odd angle, or even something from like Google Earth, and we have to orient it to fit our drawings, and that may be where rotate reference will be there, and you'll end up picking a point here and a point here on this image file, and then saying, nope, that should be 0 degrees or something like that. Let's look at scale reference the same way. Nope. Open. Yes, it's a drawing. Let's look at some car blocks. A lot of times you'll also have car blocks that you'll need to orient to fit to spaces. Let's explode these. And so you may need to do rotate reference with them. And like, you know, that could be fairly simple. Just hit R and then give it a front and back. And then if you know the angle's like 30-degree parking or something, you know, you can do that. So that's kind of handy. We could do it probably just as easily from, you know, picking a point, but they do work. Let's look at scale reference. Let me bring in a drawing. What's the actual command? Oh, crud. Image attach. I'm going to get out of documents, go to video. I've got them all subbed in the video subdirectory. And we're going to bring in, where's the, not that, there's a sync one. There we go. A lot of times you'll save an image file from the web, from a catalog, from a manufacturer's catalog, and it tells us this is 20 inches. And as long as we get the outside rectangle fine, we're good. The problem is we don't really want to have to figure out all these little details and stuff and draw perfectly accurate, because it's the outside rectangle is what we're interested in. The rest is just pretty stuff. So what we can do is we'll just draw a line from here to here in this direction that's 20 inches long. And you'll know, here, let me make it red real fast. Let's put it on home. Let's put it on. I don't have any layers in here. Let's add other drawing. Well, that's okay. We'll just go to properties and we'll just make it red. Oops. Not really what we should do, but that'll work for now. Oops. Did I not grab it? I guess I didn't. All right. So that's really 20 inches long. So we'll go scale that thing. We'll pick this endpoint for the base point, hit R for reference, come over here as accurate as we can, pick point, and then scale it down. Click. And at this point, we go rectangle. We'll start right around here. We know it's 20 wide and 18 high. You notice the drawing's a little bit off. It's also a little bit crooked. There's some other things happening. Generally, PDFs and stuff like that, this isn't that big of an issue. But this is a pretty bad one. But you get the idea. From this point on, we could probably go ahead and tweak it with the numbers that we have to at least get it fairly close to what it should be. And we'll do this a lot and then come back in later and delete that. But that's a good example of scale reference. And we use that a lot for Google Earth images. We'll use it a lot for things like this out of catalogs. So it can be a very useful tool. And I don't actually want to save this. And I guess it's scale and rotate reference. So I'll shut up.